Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cinematic Adventures. If you guys are listening to us on the go, you can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and basically anywhere you get your podcasts. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Paul. With me in the studio today is Sean. Sean, how are you today?
Sports.
Go sports.
Go sports.
Yay sports.
That is your motto. Yay sports.
I'm going to get a t-shirt made that says just go sports.
Go sports.
I saw one that I really liked. It said, I just hope both teams have a good time. Or something like that. And I was like, I need that.
Hope teams both enjoy the concert.
I hope the teams enjoy the game. But also, we do have a special guest in the studio today.
Special.
Very special.
Emphasis on the special.
Emphasis on the special. You've heard him on the Multiverse Fan Cast, MF Uncensored. I'm trying to intro. Stop it. Heard him on the Multiverse Fan Cast and MF Uncensored. And if you've been on our website, if you've been to any of our Facebook pages or our brand new Facebook group, you'll know this guy. And that's Ronnie. Ronnie, how are you today?
I'm doing splendid, sire. How are you?
Sports.
Sire?
Sports.
Sportsy. So we have an interesting episode today. We are going to be talking about, since it is Super Bowl season and
Super Bowl season.
Is today the Super Bowl, Sean?
No.
Yeah, but it's
No.
the way you said it.
We're in the season of Super Bowl.
So by the time this gets released, the Super Bowl will be 6 days away.
Correct.
Math.
Word. Sports. But anyway, so we wanted to do another special episode where we're not talking about a specific movie, but talking about a genre, if you will, a subgenre in the sports category. Because as many of you guys know, movies are broken up into a lot of different things: comedy, action, and sports is its own unique genre in the film industry. But we wanted to focus purely on some of our favorite football movies.
I can't wait to talk about foosball.
My list is way shorter than theirs.
Well, you just combined everybody's into one list. So it looks like you have a big list, but you really don't.
There's like what,
15
mentions that we're going to be doing, and there's 2 from Paul.
No, there's a fair amount. There's a fair
He
amount.
took all the good ones. I know this movie. I know that movie. I know this movie. Okay.
Nailed it, guys. You don't even know. But we are going to also talk about some of our favorite sports tropes. You know, what makes a good football movie. Because unfortunately, most sports movies are very formulaic, especially when they're based off a true story.
Yeah.
They have to follow a certain path of how the movie's going to play out. But before we do that, some news? Do we have news?
Don't look at me.
Well, Sean, you
Who
suck.
knows the news?
Well,
Nobody knows the news? I don't know the news. So we do have a little bit of news just from our aspect. Excuse me, that was hard. Ronnie's throwing me off. There
was no production meeting. I have no idea what's going on.
We have meetings? We went to George's. We went for breakfast this morning.
We have meetings every Sunday before recording, and we never really do any business talk.
92% of the time, we're not even talking about the podcasting stuff.
No.
We do have a little bit of news, mostly on our end, not so much the movie side. But first and foremost, we have created a brand new Facebook group on Facebook. I didn't think it through before I said it. But we created a brand new Facebook group called the Misfit Faction, where we are trying to get everybody involved and get a little bit of group participation. Because we do have 3 separate Facebook pages for all of our shows. We have the Multiverse Fan Cast, Cinematic Adventures, and we had the Misfit Faction as a page, but we've changed that to MF Uncensored. And now we're creating a group because we want to create a community of people who engage with us and give us ideas and suggestions and feedback. And also, if you're a creative person and you're looking to do some creativity for our stuff. I'm having trouble today, guys. That would be the place to do it. So you can look up the Misfit Faction. It is a private group, but all you have to do is just send in a request to be invited, and one of us will probably approve it.
Somebody will judge and be like,
Ronnie's sitting on his throne. Peons. Oh, you think you are going to get into my group?
Let me fix
I got
my
denied,
crown.
so I don't know what happened.
Sean's not even in it.
Who is this CN Beret?
CN. Oh, no, it's going to be one of those episodes. Oh, Sean's broken. Should have done video today. I'm really regretting that I'm not. But so make sure if you guys are on Facebook, you look up the Misfit Faction group. We'll be promoting in all of our shows. Our pages are still going to be active. You're still going to see our brand new episodes popping up, our new content, whatever we're going to be planning for the rest of the week. Ironically, Multiverse Fan Cast is planned out for the next, year.
Cinematics, not so much.
Cinematic, we're very on the seat of our pants at this point.
Yeah.
See, I feel like Multiverse has stolen our plan, and now it's reversed.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We're just like, every week
welcome.
we're just like, what do you want to talk about? I don't know.
Sean used to come with notes.
Yeah, that was the first episode. You keep harping on that. That was like the first episode.
I was impressed.
Okay.
Okay.
But see, this is the thing with Sean. he doesn't have to come with notes because the notes are already ingrained in his head.
It's actually super impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
Depends on what you talk about.
Yeah, it does depend on what we talk about. Yeah. But, and then a little bit of extra news. We have a very exciting announcement. You guys are hearing it first.
Oh, my God.
What the? Stop. Obviously, we're not getting a soundboard. But we are actually launching our brand new Misfit Faction apparel shop on our website. And
Merchandise.
yes, merchandising. And so we have just a very small selection right now, a couple of shirts. We have a Cinematic Adventure shirt. There's also a Cinematic Adventures movie quote shirt because we kind of wanted to pick one of our favorite movie quotes of all time. And I think Multiverse Fan Cast has one. We have stickers, too. That's our big thing. Stickers are now a thing. So if you want to annoy your entire family by putting stickers everywhere, what the hell is this Multiverse Fan Cast? Don't worry about it, Mom. But so that's going to go live in the next couple of weeks. We have our first prototypes getting shipped out, I believe. Yeah. Ronnie shipped something to himself.
I got to check to see what the print looks like before we start selling it.
But it is something we've been working on for probably about 2 months now. And we found a website and a vendor that we really liked. And we'll see where it goes. And those will all be available not only on our website, but also, I believe, on our Facebook pages. We can connect shop. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be coming soon. But sports. So
Namely football.
Namely football.
Only football, really.
Real quick, who do you want to win?
Who?
I know this is directed at Ronnie. Paul, not even like...
Rams. I want the Rams to win.
I
I think they're going to
I want
win.
the Bengals to win.
I want the Rams mainly because that's like my dad's team.
Fair. That's fair.
So, but, I mean...
Go Bengals.
I also do want Stafford to win. You know, that's the main thing.
Hey, Tom Brady's not in it.
Who's Tom Brady?
I'll admit it. As a Jet fan, I will admit Tom Brady is probably the GOAT.
I'm really glad I could be part of this episode of Laces Out.
I was waiting for it.
I'm waiting.
Yep. I waited. I
All
said
right, Paul, why don't you start us off here?
Well, before we jump into our commercial break and then our actual topic, really quick, first sports movie you remember seeing? Anybody have one off the top of their
I
head?
do. And not just football, any sports movie?
Any sport.
Angels in the Outfield.
Solid.
I remember seeing that in theaters.
I think I might agree that it was Angels in the... If not, possibly Air Bud.
Yeah, that's
sports.
fair.
It's a sport movie. It's a dog that plays
basketball. What is your definition?
And then football, and then soccer, then baseball, then cricket.
And then he goes to space.
Then frisbee.
Doesn't he go to space? Yeah.
That's my point.
Well,
But,
jeez, I mean, like, everybody goes to space. Vin Diesel went to space. Well, not necessarily, but you know what I mean.
No, it's Tyrese Gibson and
Ludacris.
Ludicrous.
Cars in space.
Air Bud did it first, guys.
Little bit.
Jeez.
But all right, so we got.
What about you?
For me, it was either Rookie of the Year.
Ooh, I forgot about Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Well, so when I was little, a family friend of ours, I don't remember who, they would make tapes where they would record the movies on a tape. So we had like tapes with like a bunch of different things, and one of the tapes I think was Rookie of the Year, Little Giants, and Angels in the Outfield.
That's a trifecta right there.
It is like the tape. So I remember watching. Yeah, Rookie of the Year is still one of my favorite sports movies.
I agree.
Especially as an adult, when he says funky butt loving after getting his nose shattered. You didn't get that as a kid, but
Which
as
is
an
funny
adult,
to
you're
hear.
like, oh.
It's just funny to hear.
Yeah,
Did he say funky butt loving?
That's still the best. But for me, the first football movie was Little Giants. Little Giants, and it's on our list. We're gonna talk about Little Giants.
Probably, I think all three of us probably would say Little Giants.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
because sports movies are unique in the genre where they can be any age.
Yes.
You're gonna have kids sports movies. You're gonna have teen and adults, and then just pure adults.
I mean, again, I don't want to get into a huge discussion here, but just, us growing up, there were a lot of sports movies that came out at the time, Rookie of the Year, Mighty Ducks movies.
It was a lot of child fantasy fulfillment. It was a lot of the kids doing what the adults
Little Big League.
Yeah.
What the adults said they couldn't do, and stuff like that. And now we've gotten to a point where you have movies where it's the opposite, like The Benchwarmers, where it's the adults beating up the kids.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say I've never seen that movie.
Saw the first one.
I saw the first one. I will say I enjoyed it, but it's...
So with that, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to get into some of our favorite football movies and some of our favorite sports tropes. But first, a quick break. Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Raise Energy Drinks. Raise is a proud member of Rep Sports, and if you guys are looking for a little extra kick during your day, whether you need to tackle a workout or you need to get over that afternoon slump, you can always check out Raise Energy, and if you get to checkout and you enter the code CINEMATIC, not only will you be getting a 15% discount, but you'll also be supporting the network. So that's Raise Energy with Rep Sports. Code is CINEMATIC, CINEMATIC. All right, we are back, and we are going to start off with something a little bit fun, and that is some of our
Your
favorite...
definition of fun.
I don't bring a lot to the table with talking about sports.
You bring a good amount of stuff.
There's already a lot on the table too.
All I do is just
Table's
tell you
kinda
what
full.
commercials to look for during the Super Bowl. Guys, that new trailer's coming out. We got to pay attention. But
I
no,
wonder if there's gonna be one.
I don't know. Anyway, so these are some of the most popular sports movies tropes. Not necessarily just football movies, but just sports movies in general.
So we're trying to think of a movie where this,
If you guys can
trope
think of like a
works.
movie where this trope like pops to mind really quick,
All right.
yeah, we'll do that. All right. So ready? Number 10 on this list, The Bad Boy.
Bad boy.
Somebody who doesn't play by the rules.
Any given Sunday.
yeah.
Any
that's a
given
good one.
Sunday. I'd argue Happy Gilmore's right here. He doesn't play by the rules.
That's
in
true.
sport,
Oh,
yeah.
you know what? Because I'm thinking football, but yes.
Any sports movies.
any sport,
yeah.
Happy Gilmore for sure.
Or like what was it?
Or Goon.
Goon. That's another good one. That is a movie I could talk about.
Yeah.
Like, those two movies are fantastic. The Accidental Athlete. That one's a good one.
The Accidental Athlete. Now,
I need more time to think. It's like I'm not coming up with anything like off
you
the top of my head.
Mighty Ducks.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, Mighty Ducks.
Who's the accidental athlete in Mighty Ducks?
I'm thinking like with it when it comes to hockey, you got the figure skater.
No, you're fine. You're right.
Oh yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. I like Little Giants, the kid who's kicking the dodgeballs.
Yeah.
And then he turns into like the kicker. Yep. All right, here's a good one. The Coach Who Has Demons.
Ooh.
Oh, any sports movie like
That's a lot.
that's a lot of
mean,
them.
Any
You
given
can go back to
Sunday.
Any Given Sunday.
Sunday.
The Replacement.
Can't really have.
No.
The next one's for the replacements.
Oh.
Like
Hold on.
you
on.
got this.
I got this. A League of Their Own.
Ooh.
Oh, I'll do one better. Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
There, yeah. The Coach Who's a Saint. That would be a little bit more of the replacements. Like the coach who's
Yeah.
like really just too good. Type. I like that one. The Coach in Air Bud. Yes.
That's fun.
Danny O'Shea takes a group of misfit nerds and turns them into little giants. No, look at that. I should probably read these before I say them. No. The motivational speech. We love a good motivational speech.
Miracle.
Miracle. Varsity
Remember the
Blues.
Titans?
Yep.
Miracle is one of my favorite sports movies ever. I love that movie.
The comeback usually comes after the motivational speech, right?
Usually. Miracle.
Miracle. The Waterboy, you can even argue.
Yeah.
They do a minor
Mighty
motivation.
Ducks.
Yep. Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks, yeah.
Ducks fly together. Yeah. Let's see. The
Did
locker
you hear,
room.
real quick,
go
did you
ahead.
hear about season 2? They cast Josh Duhamel as the new
New
lead.
coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah. The locker room sadness.
Little Giants.
Little Giants.
One time.
Yep. The training montage. I love a good training montage. Rocky made it famous
Yeah.
because Rocky is a sports
Rocky
movie.
4, Rocky 3, Rocky 2.
Rocky 47 and a half. But a good training montage. The key injury, somebody getting hurt at the worst possible time. Varsity Blues is the entire movie's based around the key injury.
Not another team movie.
The comebacks, ACL tear. It's a seal, sir. A seal tearee. ACL tear. The last second loss. Now, this one is always an interesting one because it can go one way or the other. Where the team that we're rooting for barely loses. Rocky was famous for it. Rocky didn't win in the first movie. But then, you get like the Little Giants where they lose by one.
Well,
Or like
they win by
the
one.
Giants, you know what I mean?
We talked about this movie at breakfast. Home Team. The Sean Payton movie.
We did.
Yeah,
He
we
did.
talked about the Home
He
Team.
did. You might not have been listening, but you
Yeah,
talked about
because it
it.
was sports related.
Sports. All right, so here's another list just because this is just fun. The Underdogs.
I mean, that's
Oh,
easy.
any movie.
Every.
Mighty Ducks.
Well, that's why I liked in the Mighty Ducks
Longest
TV
Yard.
show, like the Ducks were like the bad guys.
Well, they basically,
Yeah.
it's like they
They
took the
flipped them,
Ducks
role
name
reverse.
and made them, turn into the bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. The Down on His Luck coach. Yep. Bad News Bears. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh my God, this one's long. Sorry. Let's see. The No Hopers. All the
Dodgeball.
There's a great picture of dodgeball. that's actually a great sports
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
I won't even
Dodgeball's a
argue that.
fantastic
I mean,
movie.
you can throw the Bad News Bears in that too.
The Evil Rival Coach. And there's a picture of Sensei John Kreese from The Karate Kid. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Let's see. The training montage we mentioned. Let's see. Do It For. So like you need that like moment of tragedy or like I'm doing this for so and so.
Remember the Titans as well.
Yeah. The big speech. We love the good sports speech. Losing with dignity. Right. That's another one where the team that we're rooting for doesn't win, but they earn the respect of the other people and all that stuff. That's always some good stuff. And there's a picture of the Jamaican bobsled.
Yeah.
Yep.
First time in 22 years, Jamaica sent the bobsled team back to the Olympics.
Yeah.
So those are some of our favorite sports tropes. That was entertaining.
That was funny.
I enjoyed that. All right, so we made a list of approximately 15-ish movies.
I love that.
Yeah, well, we'll see how long we have. Some of our favorite sports movies, or excuse me, football.
God.
I literally was correcting myself.
Foosball.
Not fast enough.
Mama said.
You said I was talking too fast.
I know I did.
All right, so first and foremost, this is one of the first rated R movies that I ever saw. Varsity Blues. Varsity Blues came out at a time where, like...
I think it was MTV's first movie.
Yep, and they did not hold back on that movie.
No.
Yeah, it was rated R.
It was right at the beginning of the resurgence of the teen sex comedy.
Yep.
But this really isn't... I wouldn't put this in...
It's a dramedy.
It's a dramedy, and it hits on a subject, high school football in, like, I think Texas, right? Isn't it
Texas. Yep.
Where football is life. I mean, and you see it in this movie where, like, if your son doesn't join the football team,
he's an outcast.
You're an outcast.
Yeah.
You're a failure. And it's, James Vanderbeek, fresh off of Dawson's Creek, at the height of that show's popularity. You have Paul Walker. You have John Voight as the coach, who's just one of the most hated characters. There's nothing about that guy you root for, you like. Who else is in that movie? Why am I blanking on his name? Scott Conn.
Duffy.
Scott Conn is like the best friend. And Amy Smart.
Yeah. Who did it better, Ali Larter or Chris Evans?
That's tough.
That's a tough one.
The banana on the backside was a little too much for
Ali
me.
Larter definitely did it better, but Chris...
Would we consider Not Another Teen movie a football movie?
No.
Well, that's why I brought it up before.
It's
when you
got
talk
an underlying theme of football.
Well, see, the comebacks to me is a spoof of
the
sports
genre,
movie.
Yeah.
That's on this list.
Not another teen movie just happens to have a little plot line about sports.
Yeah.
It doesn't really.
For the record, we are not saying that our list is the definitive best list. It's just some of the ones that jumped out at us that we thought were
some of the ones Paul actually knew to talk about.
Wow, that was rough. Yeah. Speaking of which, we have the Waterboy.
Bappy Boucher.
Now, Sean will deny this, but he's actually a very big Adam Sandler fan.
I am.
Yeah, Sean will not deny this, but he's actually a very big Adam Sandler fan. I wasn't sure if you were going to deny it.
Why would I deny it? I love Adam Sandler.
I don't know. Sometimes you're weird with things.
No, I always loved Adam Sandler.
This was
like current Adam Sandler. He has some okay stuff, but like
this was peak Sandler.
90s Adam Sandler is it's hard to argue with.
And the thing about Adam Sandler is he's actually a very good athlete. He's a very naturally gifted athlete. He's been in a lot of different movies. We got another one on here with him.
The contrast of the Waterboy is it's coming off of The Wedding Singer, and it was just such a 180 character movie because he's like a normal guy in Waterboy, and then he just becomes this like little weird character in Waterboy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There are very different levels of Adam Sandler, and it goes from super goofy, immature, childish with Billy Madison
and Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore a little less because he's more of like the angry character in that.
Yeah, but then you get like Wedding Singer
where he's totally leveled out.
Yeah.
Then you get Bobby Boucher, who's a lovable but quirky guy.
Yeah.
Then you have a movie like That's My Boy where he's just detestable the whole time, and I hate.
Click.
Oh, I love Click.
Do you?
I will argue that Click is a fun movie, and it goes just like scary dark at the end.
I remember seeing Waterboy in theaters.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Enjoying it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Oh, it's so quotable.
You can do it.
Henry Winkler.
And it's funny because that was Henry Winkler's like return.
It was like right after it was after Scream, but he was like his cameo in Scream. But this was like Henry Winkler. It was a story. Like, oh my god, the Fonz is in this movie.
Yep.
And he's all sad. He's wearing heels.
Kathy Bates.
Bates.
Unforgettable as Mama
Boucher.
Yeah, the Waterboy is a good one.
The Waterboy is, and it still holds up really well.
I do. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I was watching Billy Madison the other day, and I love Billy Madison, but I'm like watching Billy Madison, I'm like,
yeah.
Especially like the opening 10, 15 minutes, I'm like,
So I was always a Happy Gilmore more than Billy Madison fan.
Yeah, it's funny because I was the opposite growing up, and now I think I'm the same way. Because I do think Happy Gilmore is the funnier of the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after we talked to Larry Hankin on MF Uncensored, where he just talked crap about Adam Sandler.
Yeah. He did?
A little bit, yeah. How he was like goofy all the time behind the scenes.
It was also his first real first foray into movies.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, one that is it holds a very special place in my heart. I will always watch it when it's on, and that is Little Giants.
Oof. Little Giants.
I don't know half the kids on that team by the end, but we do love the ones we do know.
Talk about a movie that's
Icebox.
just in a certain time, back when the Cowboys were like in the midst of their Super Bowl runs of the 90s. The Giants were still relatively good from their Super Bowl win. But I mean, I remember as a kid, Cowboys, Giants. I don't know the meaning of the two because I wasn't into football when I was a kid. But, Rick Moranis, who's in some of the movies we love as kids, Ed O'Neill. Just a fun movie. The annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that movie is just so wonderful and just such like a.
And then you get John Madden at the end there. I mean,
But all the
rest in
RIP.
peace.
And you get all the football players at the time.
Emmitt Smith, Bruce
Emmitt
Smith.
was in it. Yep.
I don't remember who the other ones
Tim
were.
Brown.
Tim Brown. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul's just like names.
But Little Giants is still, if it's ever on, I'll watch it.
That's a good one. That's also very quotable.
Yeah, there are some parts of that movie that have not aged particularly well, especially with the trope of the tomboy type girl.
What's that cheerleader doing there? That's my niece Becky, and she's pissed.
Yeah. It still has some of the best physical comedy, though, with when she's holding the pillow for him and she moves out of the way and he goes out the window. Lands on the tree branch. Oh, doctor. That's a good one. All right, now here's one that I know, Sean, this is probably one of your top 5 sports movies of all time, and that is The Replacements.
Oh, I love this movie.
I'm going to tell everybody a quick story about The Replacements. So when we were doing our 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C., it's a 6-hour bus ride, and now this was back in 2000.
So you'd get the buses with the TVs with the DVD player, and ours didn't work.
Of course.
And of all people, and this is a true story, Sean brought recorded audio only of a bunch of different movies.
I had a TV with one speaker, so I would literally take a cassette player and I would record movies, and I would listen to them. But
It's a totally normal thing, guys.
I'm sorry. I mean, I need something to pass the time.
But you know what? It actually worked out for the best because I do remember listening to The Replacements, taking turns with Sean, because that was a long-ass bus ride.
That's funny.
And that movie was so quotable to me. I love that movie.
It's still so good. One of the best.
And it's actually based off a true story, which many people don't realize.
I did not realize that.
It's based off of the 1987 NFL players' strike.
Yep.
Now, the movie is very, loose in terms of, obviously, it doesn't use the actual team names.
But they're supposed to be the Redskins.
Present day, but it's supposed they're supposed to be, even though it was the 80s. So it really doesn't go deep into that story plot, but it just takes that backdrop and puts it there.
Sorry.
They're
the Commanders.
The Commanders now.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one.
Yeah.
But this movie, it was also Keanu Reeves. It was after The Matrix, but as I've said in previous episodes, he had that career resurgence with The Matrix, and then he kind of vanished and would do smaller movies again, and this is one of them. Gene Hackman.
What a cast. Jon Favreau's in it.
Jon Favreau. That was the first thing I ever saw Jon Favreau in.
Yeah.
Because we were too young to watch Swingers.
I mean, there were a lot of, back then, big name people.
Orlando Jones.
Faison Love.
Yes. Yeah.
Rise Evans.
Rise of Fonz.
Him too. I tried. I wanted to get it in when people were talking, but it just didn't work.
And then John Madden's in this as well.
John Madden and Pat Summerall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I think was right before Pat Summerall retired, or were relatively close to. And that makes the movie, in my opinion. There's the two of them in it. Mm-hmm. It's very much like Bob Costas and Al Michaels in basketball. The fact that you got those two to be in a comedy like that, but playing themselves. They're not playing, funny, stupid, portrayals of themselves like Bob Costas and Al Michaels are. Yeah. They're playing themselves, just talking about football, and it makes the movie
that much better.
It gives it a sense of authenticity,
and then of course, it gives us the song "I Will Survive," and it never gets out of your head after watching that movie.
Yeah,
but there's some fun moments, and there really is some fun moments.
It's still
in that
the bar
movie.
fight scene is fantastic.
Bar fight scene, just the scene of them. I mean, even the football scenes are pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, so I love it with the big the Japanese guy when he catches the football.
Down this guy.
He's like, run with. I love to see a fat guy score.
Oh yeah.
Why? Well, then you get a fat guy spike and then a fat guy dance.
Yep, and then just a little sumo wrestling dance. Yep,
love it.
It is a solid movie. Now, this movie, I find it quite forgettable, but I know Ronnie's very familiar with it. Remember the Titans.
You find that quite forgettable?
He was making a joke. That's why he said it, even though this is probably one of the best sports movies.
Disney.
in my opinion.
Disney,
big
Denzel
statements.
Washington.
Yeah.
I do like Denzel.
What's the little story about, Ronnie? Remind our audience.
Remind them.
Remind them. They might not know. Like
They
Paul
don't
does.
remember. That was for you, Paul.
Thanks, man.
God, dad jokes. You gotta love it.
So basically, this movie's about back in when
My day.
people started. What? No, I'm not that old. Back when the schools were integrating, so there's no more segregation, and you had the African Americans coming with the white people, basically, and you had Denzel become the head coach instead of the current head coach of the school, and basically it's just trying to get both sides to come together to play football, win some games, kick some butt. To me, the moment that stands out is the Yo Mama jokes. like a lot of people talk about, the Gettysburg scene and everything, like when they do that little run through the woods and they go to the battlefield and everything. Like that moment, yes. But you realize they become a team when they start making like the Yo Mama jokes to each other. I don't know. There's so much with this where it's so much comedy, but also a lot of drama.
A lot of drama. It's a true story as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Gary Bertier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a good cast. I mean,
Yeah.
besides
Solid cast,
Denzel, Will Arnett plays the assistant coach.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Gosling's in that movie, isn't he?
Yes.
Hayden Panettiere.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes. Well, that's the one thing about these movies.
And
They always have like really
Heck
good
is
cast.
his name? The big heavy dude.
Ethan Suplee.
Yes, who's now like ripped.
Yeah, he got into great shape.
Yeah.
Good for him. All right, now this movie coming up is dog crap. It is horrible. It is
And
just
Paul loves it.
so.
What? Well, I'm curious now. Let me guess. The longest yard?
No, the comebacks.
Oh.
So the comebacks came out during that really big period where spoof movies were all the rage.
God, this is the epic movie, disaster movie, Meet the
Yeah.
Spartans, just taking what Leslie Nielsen did so well and just absolutely crapping on it.
So this one actually lives up a little. It's got a little bit more staying power than because the problem with those spoof movies were that they took what was happening at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the modern media stuff. So if you watch one of these spoof movies 10 years from now, they don't really make a whole lot of sense.
It's like watching Space Jam 2 and seeing Clockwork
Crap.
Orange characters and Matrix characters and
Yeah, we don't talk about Space Jam 2.
crap.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite running jokes of ours. But anyway, so the comebacks does a lot of work with the sports tropes, but they fall victim of it too. The reason I put it on the list is because it is like the whole thing is about football, and they do have some very funny, clever moments in it, which is so upsetting because it's such a bad movie. Matthew Lawrence steals it in it, but one of my favorite lines is they're making fun of like the hardcore surfer chick trope, because that was another big thing from like Blue Crush and all that. It was around the same time, and like the girl that he's crushing on comes in and she's like, he's like, where you been? Oh, I'm a hardcore surfer chick now. And he's like, in Texas? It's just in the middle of the night.
surfing
In the
the
middle of the
Gulf of
night
Mexico?
in Texas. I told you I'm hardcore. I was like, that doesn't have any right to be so funny. Like, it's just really well done. But it's a terrible movie. But like, if you like your
God.
sports movies, it does. Like, they make fun of Remember the Titans. They make fun of the Gridiron Gang and all that stuff. Like,
And when we
it's-
say it's a terrible movie, believe us. It's a
I
terrible movie.
tried to watch it. It was on HBO Max, and I tried to watch it. I could not finish it. I was like, this is really
We
bad.
paid money to see that movie.
We paid money to see a lot of questionable movies.
We did.
We should
Where was movie? What was the movie pass or the thing back then?
I know, right? We should
Would've
do an
saved
episode.
so much money.
An episode of movies we regret paying to see.
That's a long list.
That is a long list. That'd be a fun one, though. All right, coming up next, going back to the actual good territory. Any Given Sunday.
Oliver Stone, 1999.
Yep.
And it is, I want to say, I think the first, if not one of the best looks at the football world through a real lens in terms of there's no real there's no stupid comedy, there's no real it's just basically a football franchise. You see the owner, you see the coach, you see the dynamic of the players and the aging quarterback.
Yeah.
Really good and really good cast.
Oh, yeah.
Al Pacino, Cameron Diaz,
Dennis Quaid.
Jamie
Jamie
Foxx, Lawrence Taylor is
Yeah.
actually in it.
LL Cool J.
That's right, LL Cool
Yeah.
J.
It's the weird. It's like we're gonna refer to him by hey yo, what's up, LL?
Cool J.
Cool J. It's one of those things, man. I like all the rappers that become actors and they actually get referred to by their rap name, like in the credits.
Yeah.
Ludacris does it a little bit less. I think he'll actually put like Chris Ludacris Bridges or whatever his name is. Dwayne Johnson did that too. Like,
Well, because it's a money thing too with them.
it's branding.
You know?
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome. I wish I had a really cool moniker that I could use, but I don't. Mags, that's about it.
There's actually a lot of cameos from NFL. Well, back then NFL players. I mean, Dick Butkus, T.O. Who else is here?
This is what, like 99?
Warren Moon, Johnny Unitas, Emmitt Smith, and uncredited Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, wow.
Basketball.
Good old Wilt.
Yeah. Wilt the Stilt.
Is that really his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm learning about sports today. I was just really proud that I didn't call him Will. All right. Now going down, we got Radio. I don't know too much about this movie.
Yeah, Ronnie,
That's
you gotta take this one because I don't think I've really seen this one either.
Oh,
I know of it.
I mean, I wasn't necessarily saying put it on the list. It
Paul
was
just heard movie titles.
I just started yelling out.
But you have a Cuba Gooding Jr. in it, which I believe it's apparently like a semi-biographical sports movie where you have a mentally disabled student who's basically like on like the team, and it's one of those like feel good stories, you know, almost kind of like a Rudy type of movie where it's just the
plays the coach.
Yes, yeah. So it's really just like a feel good kind of story with it, almost like you're combining. Well, I guess if we want to talk about sports movies, do we want to talk about Forrest Gump?
I wouldn't say that that's a football movie.
Nah.
If anything, I'd say that's more of a ping pong movie.
No, Balls of Fury is a ping pong movie.
One day we're going to talk about Balls of Fury.
Yeah, okay.
We should do
I think I'm gonna be sick that day.
obscure sports movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dodgeball. that's one.
Kingpin.
Kingpin's another good
Yeah.
one.
Even though that's not obscure, but
I would
alright.
even go with what's the one with
The Big Lebowski.
Thank you so much. Wow, how did you know? I gave away nothing and he actually said it. Wow. It's so impressive, actually. Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. But all right, so we have two for the price of one. The Longest Yard.
Ziz.
Zizzes. I am way more familiar with the second one. Obviously, that's Adam Sandler, Chris
Yeah.
Rock, Billy Bob Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right, Billy Bob? No, not Billy Bob.
No.
Why am I
No.
thinking Billy Bob
I
Thornton?
don't know.
I don't know
Who's,
why you're thinking Billy Bob.
Who plays the coach? It's a good job.
Burt Reynolds.
Thank you. I don't know how that happens.
Who was in the original?
Yes.
Burt Reynolds and Billy Bob Thornton. All right, I see it.
Yeah, it's that older. It's that older face.
Oh yeah,
It's that face. You know that face?
Yeah, that face. But old
this
guy.
was a surprise one for. This was like back to back. He remade movies, Longest Yard and Mr. Deeds.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I remember seeing the trailer for Longest Yard and just being like, I can't tell if this is a comedy or if he's going a little more.
It was definitely more the dramatic route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has comedy elements in it. Obviously, Chris Rock, brings
Because the movie, the
Yeah.
original is more of a black comedy. It's not like a.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a laugh out loud, haha.
Is that how you laugh out loud?
Yeah, haha.
Ha
Haha.
Ha-ha.
LL.
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 So it's just a slight pause between LL and Cool J. All right, leave me alone.
Kind of want to watch Deep Blue Sea right now.
That's actually a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when
I love how that's where you go.
LL
Yeah,
Cool
right?
J.
I know, but like,
That was my first movie with LL Cool J.
that was your first movie with seeing LL Cool J?
Does the cameo in Charlie's Angels count?
Maybe. Should. He's in it.
He only cameos in the beginning. But anyway, I really do enjoy the second Longest Yard. The first one
Yeah.
I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And I definitely saw the first one after I saw the remake, which does not always help the original.
No.
Like when you see the remake, whatever movie you see first, you tend to
Gravitate.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So for me, I think
And the surprising thing with this movie is you didn't have any actors in it other than Adam Sandler, Burt Reynolds, and Chris Rock. Everyone else was a sports figure. You had wrestlers in it, football players, rappers.
Isn't Terry Crews in it?
Terry
Crews
Crews,
is in it, yeah.
like I said, a football player.
But he was a football player. He wasn't really an
Yeah,
actor yet.
he wasn't really an
I think
actor
this is
yet.
the movie that probably
Yep.
pushed him into acting.
oh yeah, a
You
little bit.
had Nelly in it, Michael Irvin. You had some wrestlers, like I said. You had Goldberg. You had Kevin Nash.
Oh, wow.
The
the guy from
Great Khali, the big tall.
Yeah, from Get Smart.
Yep. like it's weird that you had so many like non like actors in a movie and it actually like worked. Oh, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, going down. Now, this one is, again, another really big one for Sean. Sean loves this movie. Draft Day.
Oh,
Yes.
love this movie. Draft Day,
Nice
if you can
surprise.
believe it, there's not a single actual real football game that goes on during the movie. There's like clips of football games, but there's really no actual playing of the game. It is basically a behind the scenes look at how teams draft players.
Yep.
And I don't know why I love this movie so much, but I just thought it was such a great story. And it's Ivan Reitman directing it. It's Kevin Costner, Jennifer Garner,
Dennis Leary, Sam Elliott.
Why am I blanking?
Chadwick Boseman.
Thank you. I'm literally like, what is his name? And I'm like, Chadwick Boseman, Tom Welling, for you Smallville fans out there.
Yeah.
And just it looks at it's an over the top story. Don't get me wrong. It's a very ridiculous premise. Taking draft picks and all that stuff, but it's just a lot of fun. I highly recommend it for anyone who hasn't seen it.
It's a different it's almost like a subset of like the football genre, because when you're thinking a football movie,
You think about the games.
You're thinking
about the
exactly the games. Like
Really.
you have a movie like this, and which I don't know if it's the next thing on the list, but like Concussion, where it's not really about like
Just
the actual
took his job away.
That's the next one on the list.
where it's like not really about
The game.
the game football. It's about the outside stuff that happens with it. So
So, Paul, what's our next movie?
Concussion.
See, this movie is, this movie was what, 2015? It's been a while. Wow.
2015. Yep.
So I remember when this movie came out, and NFL would not even talk about this movie. Like they would not go near it. You wouldn't hear any of them talk about it because it's such a hot subject for them. Because this was during the whole, the CTE, and all that. Junior Seau had just died.
Yeah.
A lot of older professional players were dying via either suicide or really freak ways, and it's a true story. Will Smith plays this doctor who does an autopsy on an old Pittsburgh Steeler player who had committed suicide, and he discovers this disease that affects the brain, and it becomes really common in the game of football. And he gets ostracized by the NFL. Like, the NFL will do anything to denounce what he's saying. And I mean, it's a strong story. I mean, because not only is this guy the only doctor who's like standing by this, but he's obviously not, he's from another country. So you get that whole, aspect to it. He's a very low, mannered man. He is not like, he's just being like, just vitriol being sent his way because people don't want him to destroy the game they love. And
it's like boxing too. Like, boxing was another one where people were getting huge amounts of brain damage and nobody wanted to talk about it.
No, and I mean, it's not the big subject as it was back in 2015. I mean, it's still a subject, obviously, because now,
things have changed.
Things have changed. I mean, when a player gets hit and is on the ground for more than like a couple seconds, they'll take him off. They'll put him in the tent. Obviously, if he has a concussion, they will not allow him to play. But it's really, that little couple year stretch where it was like the game of football was like being attacked. So how dare you tell us we can't do this in this game, or this is what's happening? And it wasn't just, the fans. It was former players. We're just like, don't screw with our game, And
it's almost like Hollywood, like don't ask, don't tell kind of thing. Just
kind of.
letting the bad stuff happen so that the good stuff can continue.
But that was a great movie.
Yeah,
he was fantastic.
Did
Will Smith.
Did he get it?
Actually, you know what? I don't think he wasn't even nominated.
That was like a big thing.
It was a big thing because it obviously it entered the whole race, issue again. But he definitely deserved it for that movie. I mean, he might not deserve to win, but he definitely deserved to be nominated.
He wasn't nominated for any big things, but like he was nominated for other. Actually, no, the Golden Globe.
He's got the Golden Globe nom. I think he probably got a SAG nom, but he didn't get the Oscar nom. I remember that because that was a huge thing.
NAACP Image Awards, the MTV Movie Awards, Golden Raspberry, Hollywood Films, like stuff like that, but nothing, no like big name awards or nominations.
That was a big thing, but that was a very good movie. Very good movie.
You had one of our sports icons was in this movie, Mike O'Malley.
Guts.
That's fair. Do you have it? Do you have it?
Guts.
See,
I
those are
actually
my kind of sports.
started watching that show.
Guts.
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, is it? That's
It's
funny.
Just brings back memories.
Yeah.
There are so many of those things that I wanted to do.
Oh, I wanted to
All of them?
Remember the whole school takeover thing they used to do?
Yeah, oh,
Like,
yeah,
they would
those
turn
were the
your
days.
gym into the guts thing. That was awesome.
Sports. But anyway, all right. So now we have a couple of movies that I will be honest, I have no clue about. So Sean is in charge.
Oh, here we go.
All right. First up, we have Johnny Be Good.
Johnny Be Good is such a forgotten late 1980s like teen sex comedy with Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Downey Jr. But the reason why it's on this list is because the backdrop of the story is it's college football basically trying to bribe high school players into joining their college program. Mm-hmm. So like, we'll pay you $100,000, which too much money at that time, but I'm just throwing out a number. Yeah. If you come to this school, we will give you countless women if you come to this school. We'll give you a car if you come to this school, which was really happening.
It still does.
Well, okay, yes, it still does. But during the 80s, it was really crazy what was going on. So, again, the only reason this movie's on this list is because it really had that backstory. There's like a couple football scenes, but it is a bad movie.
You had a lot of big names too. But you had Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
and Senior in it.
That's right. Uma Thurman was her first movie.
Anthony Michael Hall. Jennifer Tilly.
Paul Gleason.
Yeah.
The famed teacher from The Breakfast Club.
Yep.
All right. The next
Paul's just like, all right, we're just done.
I don't even know if I wrote this one down. Horse feathers?
Marx Brothers. God. And this is the four Marx Brothers,
Oh, yeah? I'm going to have to, when we get...
The Four Horsemen.
So basically the Marx Brothers take over a college, and football is the big thing for the school. They got to try and win a football game at the end of the movie. And this is like Leatherheads football, like where like it's
Classic,
just a leather helmet, no protection at all. It's just fun to watch.
And if you guys are interested in the Marx Brothers, we actually have an interview coming out soon with Steve Stolier, I think was his last name, where he actually wrote a book called Raised Eyebrows, My Life with Groucho. So that's going to be coming out on MF Uncensored if you guys want to hear
I was there for that one.
We are doing a follow-up, I promise. Don't worry. Sure. I do my best, guys.
Well, and Rob just mentioned another movie to me, The Freshman. It's a silent movie with Harold Lloyd, one of the most famous silent comedians. Again, very much like the Marx Brothers, it's football at a time that doesn't exist anymore. With the leather.
Oh, I'm surprised we didn't even mention the movie Leatherheads.
But when we do like a sports movie one, or you guys do one, don't forget to mention Old School.
Really,
Do you know how much sports is in that?
The last 14 minutes.
Yeah, but the whole thing was about training for it.
Not really. That's like saying Beer Fest is a sports movie.
It is.
That's kind of...
I have been training for a beer drinking competition.
Talk about a training montage.
A little bit, yeah. It's one of our favorite training montages of all time.
How'd we do? Not good. Don't shout.
I hate you, Bachelor Nath. But anyway, and then the last movie on this list is Black Sunday.
Oh, Black Sunday. Did you ever see Black Sunday? No. Black Sunday is a late 70s movie where basically the terrorist group Black September wants to detonate a bomb in a blimp above the Super Bowl. So again, it takes in that whole aspect of you get Pat Summerall with not John Madden, but his partner before John Madden. I don't know his name. And they were broadcasting the game, and you get like actual football teams on the field. So it's just another one where football plays a part.
And if you're interested, it's the same author that did Silence of the Lambs.
Really?
No big deal.
I did not know that.
I did.
That's a fun fact for your fanny pack.
Yeah, that's from the Fun Fact Fanny Pack. For those of you guys who don't know.
Is this a Multiverse Fan Cast thing?
Might be. The Fun Fact Fanny Pack. But Fun Fact Fanny Pack is going to be on the store.
Watch it in 5 years. I think it'll be like the new big thing.
I already picked one out.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. But so
what fun fact do you have in your fanny pack?
Oh, no, I actually picked out the fanny pack.
Oh, you actually picked out the
fanny pack? It's going to go on the store. It's going on the store.
Yep.
But so that is...
What's it going to say on it?
Fun fact.
That's it?
Yeah, because
not
the
a fun
fanny
fact
pack.
fanny pack?
You pull your fun facts out of it.
Okay.
You know, like how Snapple has it on their cap, you have it in your fanny.
Roddy could sell ice to an Eskimo.
So what? Each fanny pack's gonna just have a fun fact in it?
Oh, we're not getting that crazy. You could put your own fun facts.
You can,
in there.
yeah.
Oh, so people have to actually do work and put their own
so you
fun
know, like
facts
those.
into it.
So this is the thing. So pretend you're an introvert, right? And you're going out to talk to people. You're trying to not be so introverted.
Wearing your
right?
fanny pack.
Yeah. So to start a conversation, you put your fun fact to somebody, and you start a conversation based off of your fun fact. It's a way to take your introvert and give yourself some extrovert skills.
We're gonna make a commercial for this. And that's what it's gonna be. Oh man, this got off the rails really quick. Luckily, that was the last movie. Any final thoughts on the sports movies, football in particular, or tropes?
Just Super Bowl's coming up in a couple days. Bengals versus the LA Rams.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good game. I really do.
It can go either way.
It could be a blowout. It could be
a
but who knows? And
Yeah.
looking forward to the commercials, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Commercials, woo.
I am looking forward to the commercials.
I don't know. I feel like the commercials really have kind of been lackluster the last couple of years.
Yeah, the last 2 years, it's been so sad with what they've done. But I am excited for the halftime show this year.
Oh, Snoop Dogg, Eminem.
Snoop, M, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre. Like, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah, the halftime
I
show's
was
gonna be a lot of
impressed with this selection. I
Yeah.
never thought they would go there.
Yep.
But being that it's in LA, it makes so
You
much
have
sense.
to. Exactly.
And good for them because it's a long time coming, and I'm intrigued to see how this goes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, is each guy going to get their own? Is each person going to get their own song? Are they going to be together from minute to end? Because it's only 15 minutes long. So
Yeah.
I mean, to have that many people in one show.
Well, the good thing is they all have songs with each other in them, too.
That's true.
So it's more of a Dr. Dre halftime show, but he's got the connections with all these other people, so it's
Wonder if
really
there's
just
going to
going to
be
be...
any extra surprises because that's been the big thing the last
Yeah.
couple of years is having like
Can
extra.
you put any more extra
Well, that's the
surprises
thing.
into
I mean,
this?
like, are you going to bring any like
NWA, you get some like Ice Cube in there, some Ice T,
Nicki
maybe.
Minaj.
Oh, don't start with that.
I can see Rihanna
She has no connection with them though.
with Eminem.
And plus, she's pregnant right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I just wanted to
I
participate.
mean, not saying she can't perform while pregnant, but
We have a fan feedback Friday, Paul.
Yeah, it's a short one. Let's see. The fan feedback Friday this week was, what was your first R-rated movie? We have,
I did not answer this one because I couldn't remember.
we have Halloween, Animal House, and Good Morning Vietnam. Solid choices. Mine was Blade. I didn't get the chance to write it down, but Blade.
You created it. You didn't get to write it down.
Anyway, I see that. See, this was a tough one. Like, whenever we talk about like, oh, what was your first whatever? Honestly, I can't remember.
I'm sure we can find one of your firsts that you'll remember.
like first rated R movie. I would not be able to tell you. I've seen a lot, but I couldn't tell you.
You
what my
don't
first
have
one
that
was.
recollection. You just don't have in the back of your head that first movie where you're like, I shouldn't be watching this, but I am.
No, I really don't.
Actually, I think the first rated R movie, I think Blade was the first one I saw the entire thing of. I'm sure there was like bits and pieces of others that I saw growing up.
It could have honestly. It could
Blazing
have.
Saddles is another one.
It
that was
could have
early
been
on.
Animal House, to be honest with you, because I know my dad showed me that movie.
Animal House with LL Cool J. A lot of weird pronunciation going on today. Resifons. Rise Evens.
Rise Evens.
But yeah, so if you guys are looking to participate in Fan Feedback Friday, it's super easy. You can find us on Facebook, Cinematic Adventures. There you'll find links to also all of our previous episodes. You can also find us on our website, themisfitfaction.com. There you'll find links to all sorts of things, including our store that's going to be up and running in the next couple of weeks. We also have Rob's articles. So we have one or two things that I attempted to write. We have links to all of our other shows. So make sure you guys check that out. You can also find us on Facebook, the Misfit Faction. Social media network, basically. You just type that into Google and you're going to find all of our stuff. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, type in Misfit Faction. There's a good chance you're going to find us. But we want to take a second to just thank Ronnie from, the Multiverse Fan Cast.
That was more than a second.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to take as much time as I want because I'm hosting to say thank you to Ronnie for stopping in to join us.
Did he have a choice, though? He was
I think he
here.
did.
He could have just been chilling over there in the corner, but we felt bad.
I could have just given him like a toy to play with. He would have been fine.
That's true.
A coloring
What kind of
book,
toy?
like a coloring book, maybe.
That's not a toy.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking about something better because I don't want to explain what kind of toy. Anything shiny, I pretty much have a chance of Ronnie getting fully
shiny
distracted.
red ball.
Yeah, especially considering he's wearing his headphones half on, half off right now.
That's how he does it.
Yeah, that's why he can't sit at certain microphones. But anyway, that's going to wrap us up for today. As always, I'm Paul.
I'm Sean.
I guess I'm Ronnie.
I guess.
And we'll see you guys next week.